Hey everyone, welcome back to Traveling with Francoise. I'm Francoise Rhodes, your host. I hope you enjoyed our first hour of Live What's Happening in Coachella Valley, where we had the Living Desert come in and they brought ravioli, the turtle, and the possum. The opossum, Otis the possum. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was fun. We really enjoyed that. And now we're going to talk some travel with you. I know we did a kind of a fun like a watch party in the middle of the week just to put the show out there again. And we're messing around with all sorts of things. Craig Camel and I with CoachellaValley.com and Traveling with Francoise. So you never know where we're going to be, what we're going to do. We have trips planned coming up that we're going to be on site. We haven't figured out if Sean's going or not. We haven't figured out a lot of stuff. But thank you so much for joining us. And again, I am Francoise Rhodes. All right, so now we are in the travel portion of the show, brought to you by all sorts of sponsors. You can see our sponsors going across the bottom of the screen there, and we want to thank all of them for being part of the show. And the umbrella for this show is Artifacts and Arts Across America, the nonprofit that I founded just this year. And this nonprofit, the only reason for this nonprofit is for me to have supporters, donors, supporters, however you want to call it, support the nonprofit so I can give you more television shows. It's all about the TV episodes. We have 17 so far to date. We're going to be filming the Palm Springs Art Museum at the end of this month. I have a couple more in the works. So that's what Artifacts and Arts Across America is. It is the umbrella of Traveling with Francoise. So if you see that name, you see that logo popping up, here's my bracelet. Gina Edwards, thank you so much for the logo of Artifacts and Arts Across America on it. So if you see that logo, that's what it's about. It's the umbrella company. All right, so today on this portion of the show, Lea Goodsell should be rolling on in here anytime soon now, and she's going to be talking about her recent trip to Burning Man, which is something I say every year I want to go to. It's an event out in the desert that really started small and now has become gigantic. So we'll find out about that. And we'll also see your travel photo of the week. I have to thank you. I've been getting some tremendous photos in. Thank you so much. And it's all about pride, not prize. I show these on the show here, and then I put them on a Facebook page. They're all over the place. So you have been sending some great travel photos. Keep it up. Real simple. Just send them to francoiserhodes@gmail.com. And I just pick one. I'm actually getting so many now that I have my own file for them. Yes, and they're hard to pick. So we will be showing our travel photo of the week winner in just a little bit. But first I have some other information that I want to share with you. First off, it's official. It's official. I don't know if we have a drum roll or not, but it is official that I will be escorting the Lake Powell trip that's happening October 31st. We're going to leave actually on Halloween through November 4th. It is 4 nights, 5 days, and we will be going to Flagstaff. Then we're going to go to Lake Powell. Then we're also going to go to the Grand Canyon. We're going to spend 1 night in Las Vegas. We're going to be able to go to a hot air balloon regatta in Page, Arizona. A lot of things happening on this trip, and of course some downtime as well. We're going to be on the lake. We're going to be on a boat on the lake, and I will be escorting this trip. It is $595 per person. This includes everything, not all your meals, but everything else. And it is double occupancy. So for more information, you can go to acttours.com, act-tours.com, or check it out on Traveling with Francoise for their link. I don't have this trip up on the website. It will be up on Monday, and I know that we're probably 3/4 of the way full on this trip. But anyway, I just now confirmed that I'm able to escort it. So I will be the escort for this trip. So we'll be in Arizona, Utah, and Nevada. And again, October 31st through November 4th. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Cameraman Steve's not going this time, though. He does on some of these, and we film the whole adventure. But this time he's not going. Maybe Craig. Maybe you're going. I don't know. You, Sean, Lily, we'll take them all. Philip, we'll all go. All right. So that is the news for that. Remember, act-tours.com for the Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Lake Powell trip. All right. And for those of you who would like to be a Forest Service volunteer, yes, the Forest Service announces it needs to fill hundreds of temporary jobs in the upcoming season. According to the USFS, jobs will be available in 2020 in Idlewild, Lytle Creek, Big Bear, and San Bernardino stations. So if you'd be interested in doing something like this, sounds like a lot of fun to me, you can go to visit, or you can actually visit usajobs.gov, usajobs.gov, and I will put this on the Facebook page. I'll get that up there on Facebook page, and I'll also get it on the Traveling with Francoise website. Now, when you go to the website, we have all sorts of things there. We have a contest page. We have the video podcast page, which actually both shows, live What's Happening Coachella Valley and Traveling with Francoise. You can watch them live over and over and over. Well, it's not live, but it feels like it's live on that page on the website. Let's see, we have, what do we have? Contest, events, the travel blog, all sorts of things, artifacts and arts across America. So check that out, travelingwithfrancoise.com. Now, to avoid me getting too distracted, I am not looking at the Facebook page right now. So I want to say hi to those of you out there. Just hi. If you're making comments, Craig's going to have to yell at me and tell me, or Philip or someone, that you need something answered. But thanks so much for joining me today on this second show that follows our first show. So, and remember, you do need to refresh between two shows because we actually shut everything down and start it all up again. It's not one continuous piece. So for those of you that it takes a few minutes, like Pee-wee in Las Vegas, I know you said last week it took you a little time to find this show again. Just stay on that same page that you're on and just refresh, and it will pop up and you go to the window. So hi, Laura Green. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see. We do have a contest as well. If you would like to win 2 admission tickets to the Living Desert, all you need to do is comment on this feed for this show. People were commenting in the first hour. You can comment on this one as well. Just tell me, what is your favorite animal and why? Really simple. What is your favorite animal and why? And I'm going to pick a winner, and someone's going to win 2 passes to the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. Right, I also want to give a heads up to Cabot's Pueblo Museum. We had a couple winners this week for passes, 4 passes to Cabot's Pueblo Museum. If you want to see who those winners are, you go to the website, Traveling with Francoise, and check it out on the contest page. Famous contest page. I have a lot going on that page. All right, and again, that's travelingwithfrancoise.com. So for a chance to win that, and of course, I go back to this because this is such a great prize as well. If you go to CoachellaValley.com, on that website, they are giving away 2 tickets to the Joshua Tree Music Festival coming up in October. That's over a $500 prize. That is pretty darn awesome. So check it out, CoachellaValley.com. So we have, let's see, lots of things going on. So let's talk some travel. You might be interested in this news that I pick up. I try to be very selective and talk about things that would interest you. One of them is Hong Kong. Hong Kong hotel occupancy was 63.9% in August, at an all-time low for any month in the city. Excuse me, I would say there's probably just a little too much turmoil going on over there right now. So it's better to stay away. Why put yourself in the middle of that? Jamaica drew 1.87 million visitors in the first 8 months of 2019. It was a 9.1% increase year over year. I actually spent a month in Jamaica, and what an experience that was. We stayed in a place called the Bird Cage, which was up in the hills. And the one thing I will never forget, first of all, people carry machetes like it's no big deal because they're always cutting their way through the bushes to get to town or whatever. But at home, during the night, driving back to the Bird Cage, you could always see, it was just, we would drive through jungle to get up this hill, go up this hill to jungle. You would see these big eyes staring at you out of the forest. I don't know. We never stopped to see what they were, but I will never forget that. And they had caterpillars that were the largest caterpillars I've ever seen in my life. They had to be 4 inches long. They were gigantic. I know. It was, I'll never forget it, but it was so much fun. The jerk chicken, and it was so good. I don't know. It was really quite an experience. Had a lot of fun. And at night, they don't have screens, so you turn the lights off and your bird with the windows open, and it thunder and lightning every day in Jamaica, just about every day. That's why it's so lush and green. But you didn't want to turn the lights on at night, because if you did, you would see the lizards that are on the walls and whatever in your room. They weren't there during the day. Yeah. Okay. Now you'll probably never go to Jamaica, but the resorts don't have that, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, Carnival Corporation said that its brands have resumed regular sailings to the Bahamas for the first time since Hurricane Dorian struck on September 1st, so they are back. Citing fire and safety, NCL shuts the door on decorations. Celebrations such as birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, or honeymoons are often an occasion where the doors were decorated. Well, they will no longer do that because of fire safety rules, so you can't decorate those doors anymore. Also, Norwegian Cruise Line acquires waterfront property in Juneau, bidding $20 million for a 3-acre site, beating out Royal Caribbean's $13 million offer. And more news out there. Repairs are complete. Pearl Harbor reopens to the public now. The attraction suspended normal tour operations for 15 months for repairs to the dock and the concrete ramp. They are now open. Drinking bottled water on an airplane is not recommended. According to a recent study, airlines scored below a 3 on a 5-point scale for quality of water. So don't drink any water out of the bathrooms. That's all I can say when you're on the airplane. Yeah, Sean. We wouldn't do that anyway. Sean, would you do that? I wouldn't do that. Who would go in the restroom and get water out of the tap? I don't know. It wouldn't be me. But anyway, drink bottled water when you're on the airlines. And WOW Air is making a comeback. The USA Aerospace Associates has finalized an agreement to purchase the brand 6 months after the Icelandic airline went bankrupt in March. So there is a lot of things going on out there in the world of travel. And if you have any news that you want to share with me, definitely just send it to me via Traveling with Francoise. Go to the website, or you can also send me an email at francoiserhodes@gmail.com. Joining us in just a few more minutes, Lea Goodsell's here, and she's going to talk about her trip to Burning Man. I don't know, she's been all over. In 1 week's time, I don't know, she's crossed back and forth across the United States. So I wonder she didn't throw Europe in there just for the heck of it. But she said, well, she was in Cleveland. She said that's like Europe. But here is a lifestyle that I know Lee's going to love. I really should actually wait till she comes on, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. The van life. The van life, she has a van she's been working on. That is one of the trending ways to travel now. A new way of living and traveling is in a van. People are taking it to the extremes. It is more popular than ever. They actually now have a ranking for the top U.S. states, the top 10, to start living the van life. Craig, you got a bus. I don't know. Maybe the bus. You the bus. Lee the van. We better go put the van behind the bus. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Sean wants a van. They say the gas prices, cost of living, percentage of federal land, weather, and outdoor consumer spending rounded out their top 10 picks. And I'm going to give them to you. And starting at 10, number 10 is, and this is to live and travel in your van. Number 10 is Alabama. Number 9 is Idaho. Number 8 is Mississippi. 7, Florida. 6, West Virginia. 5, Arkansas. 4, Utah. 3, Nevada. 2, New Mexico. And number 1 place to travel and live in your van is in Wyoming. California did not. How did California not make the list with the beaches, the mountains, the desert? I don't get it. We were not on the list. So anyway, I'll save this for Lee so she can start her trip. She can start mapping out her trip in her van life. All right, and one more thing I want to give you a heads up on. Borrego Springs Resort and Spa. Of course, Borrego Days is coming up October 18th through 20th. We'll be out there broadcasting to you from Borrego Springs from the festival, Borrego Days Desert Festival. It's our 54th year. We're going to be doing the first hour. We don't even know about a second hour, but we will be out there broadcasting live. I'll be emceeing the parade as always and doing some other fun live stuff all during the event. But the Borrego Springs Resort and Spa, they have a special going on for Borrego Days. They also have a spa special going on right now. So check it out. The Borrego Springs Resort and Spa. They have a wonderful spa there. They have the golf course. They have Arches Restaurant. So definitely you're going out there. Check out the Borrego Springs Resort and Spa because they are one of the happening places out there in Borrego Springs. So I think it is time now, Sean, for our travel photo winner of the week. And I picked this, and it's just such a cool photo. It is from Al Reed. His caption was, "Feeling Minnesota." Now, when you saw that photo, Sean, didn't it make you want to go fishing? It is such an awesome photo. So we want to thank Al Reed, who sent the photo in. Feeling Minnesota. Check it out. I'm going to be promoting his photo all week long. And like I say, a lot of you have been sending in travel photos, especially this week. You're starting to send them in. It's a lot of fun. We're going to feature one every week. It's going to be on the website, going to be on the Facebook page. And remember, this show has a life of its own. It just will continue to grow after we go off the air. It will be posted on Traveling with Francoise, more on Facebook and whatnot. So I think it is time now, as you guys are feeling Minnesota, thinking that you want to go fishing, that Lea Goodsell comes on over. She brought props. I'm liking that. Now, this is a great guest. She brought props. All right. And maybe when you guys can help her grab all her stuff over there. Yeah. What? And what? Let's just, here, I'm saving this for you, the van life. We want to make sure we welcome Lea Goodsell from Renova Energy. But hi, how are you? Oh, boy, look at all these. You made these, didn't you? Oh, look at this.
Cuffs.
Oh.
So I have some new goodies that I've been making.
Well, welcome to your first time on live.
Yeah,
Traveling with
you.
Francoise.
This is a you always travel at Burning Man with your own cup.
And look at you. Look at this outfit
well,
here.
Well, it's a little modified. I don't wear exactly this at Burning Man, but close. Some of the same pieces. So you always have goggles.
Yeah.
Because of the whiteouts and a scarf.
Make sure
to
we're
breathe and yeah.
Okay, so Lea Goodsell, it's been a while since you've been on the show. Great to have you back.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
We love the fact today's been such an awesome day because we had animals from the living desert in the first hour. Yeah.
It's hard to compete with. I don't know if my hat's really.
These are pretty great. In fact, I'm going to have to try on a couple hats too. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. But just in a nutshell, Lea, and what I love about Lea is she's the kind of person that we all strive to be. She comes up, well, you do. You come up with these trips. She'll come up with her trips. She'll call around some friends. She'll say, who wants to go? You plan it and you're gone. Obviously, you have no responsibility. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I know.
No, but you have, you have a wonderful boss. But you do this in such a way that you do it certain times of the year when it works for summer months and all that sort of stuff. But the fact that you take the bull by the horns is really my point, and make it happen instead of constantly saying, I'm going to. You somehow figure it out to make it happen. Yeah. Now, in this last week, because I saw you on Facebook, you were here, there, where have you been in the last, let's say, 2 weeks?
Well, I did go to Cleveland on a side project with Vincent, so we were able to visit NASA. We may be working with them, and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, exciting!
Yeah, which is my first time to Ohio.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Beautiful little city, very Midwest. Very friendly. Mm-hmm. And then I just got back from 3 days with my daughter, so we stayed in a cool little Airbnb in Venice called Hobbit House, which was kind of underground and low, and then they had some other cool places built in their backyard, basically. So there was other travelers there. One of them was a big room with a floating bed and Zen and different things. So that was her little touch of Burning Man, since she can't go right now because she has the 2-year-old. And then just a whirlwind tour of her friends with new babies.
And Venice in L.A.
Yep.
Yeah, Venice Beach area.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay. So a lot's been going on.
Yeah, and then Oceanside, and then San Diego, and then to the airport this morning, and then back over the mountain to be here.
Whew. Okay. All right. I'm exhausted. No, that's great. That is so much fun because you really take advantage of all the places you go to, and you try to look for the unique and unusual. Now, you've been on the past several years talking about Burning Man, and I look on Facebook, and I read the articles about it. And when you started going to Burning Man, was it like it is now? I mean,
it's pretty close. Yeah, I mean, you could still buy tickets easily at the beginning. Like Coachella, it sells out really fast now and everything. But luckily, we have a theme camp that we've had for many years, and so we get a certain percentage of tickets in the early ticket sale. So that guarantees the core people in our camp can go, and then between other means, people have art cars, I volunteer, somebody rangers, we get enough tickets for our camp. So we're in pretty good shape. And
Sean has photos. I know you're probably showing some of the photos as we're talking, as you're going to. And the whole idea of Burning Man, what is it? When it originally started, wasn't it all about sustainability, living off the land? And I see that it's evolved through the years.
I'm not sure it was about sustainability per se.
No.
It was about fire.
It's about, I don't know. Yeah.
It started on a beach in Baker Beach in San Francisco in, I think, 86, and it stayed on the beach for 5 years, and then the last year it drew people every time, bigger and bigger crowds. It was on Memorial Weekend. And then the last time it grew 500 people and a bigger man, because it was just a fluke the first year, just a novelty. Hey, let's build this thing and do this thing to it.
See if anyone comes.
Yeah. And so, fire attracts people. And so Larry Harvey was like, that was kind of cool. So he did it again and did it again. And the fifth year, Memorial Day, the police showed up and said, yeah, you can't do that this year. You can't burn it. And so there was also some people at the burn from the Cacophony Society, which is this really cool group of people in San Francisco and other places that create unique experiences for each other. And they were going out to the Black Rock Desert on Labor Day weekend already. And they said, hey, Burning Man people, why don't you come with us to the Black Rock Desert? So that's how Burning Man got to where it is now.
All right.
And so that's where it's been ever since, except for 1 year when they had to move off to reservation land because they had to create the city plan.
Okay. How many people go to Burning Man?
Between 70 and 80,000.
Wow. And when you're looking at the pictures.
It's the largest city in Nevada for the week.
It's crazy. I need to put a hat on. I feel like I'm
I mean, you want a modified
I
military one with me or a top hat? Some of them have, I get dreads put in, kind of yarn dreads. So some of these have a bigger radius on them, so they might slip down because my head is bigger.
Where are your dreads?
During the time.
Okay.
They're inexpensive men's top hats that I get at the dollar store actually for $1, and then cover with fabric and everything. Yeah, those are fresh off the playa.
Okay. How's that? Do I look like I'm Burning Man?
Yeah, those have been playa size. And you got your goggles for you, and those are kind of steampunked. Those I did the year that it was Vitruvian Man. So it was very kind of Renaissance and Leonardo da Vinci and everything. So I wanted to make some steampunk ones and kind of honor of that.
So there's a theme to Burning Man.
Each year.
Why do people go?
Why do people go? Because you get to unplug from all your devices. There's very little signal out there. The 10 principles are great ones to, I think, live by all the time. They include radical inclusion, so anybody can go. Radical self-reliance, bring everything you need. Radical self-expression, be your authentic self.
Okay.
Communal effort, participation, civic responsibility. The city is ours. We need to help each other. We need to be responsible citizens. Decommodification, so there's no sponsors. They encourage you to cover up logos. They don't let brands come in and promote themselves, etc. Immediacy, live in the moment, and the burning of a lot of the art, and the man speaks to that. Live for it now. It could go away. And then leave no trace. So it's the largest leave no trace event in the world. So what you pack in, you pack out. You can't put anything on the playa, even liquid, unless it's just water. So even if you hose yourself off with some kind of Dr. Bronner's or soap or something, you've got to stand in like an evap pond or something so that it could be evaporated so it doesn't change the playa any. So there's actually a crew paid and volunteer that stays for about a month afterwards, and anything that is left, they meticulously pick up down to like a sequin and collect everything. And so when you're done, you can't tell the city was even there.
Wow.
It's
so
amazing.
There's no hotels on this. You bring your own lodging. You build your own lodging, I'm gathering. There are some RVs
anything
and camping.
from tents or RVs or yurts or, tents. If you're coming from overseas, maybe you're in a camp that has tents for you and a bike, and so you just pay to have the tent provided for you and rent a bike or something, or you stop on the bus on the way in and they stock up at Walmart and then you can donate the bike afterwards. So you can't do open camping in terms of just sleeping under the stars because of the threat of whiteouts. So,
From the
50
sand,
mile an hour winds, 60 mile an hour winds can hit, you can't see this far in front. But just about anything else. I've seen teepees. I mean, people build, we had, at our camp, somebody had construction offices delivered, and they slept in those. So
I mean,
it runs the range.
I suppose probably nothing even surprises you anymore out there. Now, is there running water? Are there restaurants? Because people are thinking, this sounds pretty primitive to me.
It's all created. They do sell ice. That's a safety thing.
Yeah.
So you have to have ice to keep your food refrigerated if you're not in an RV. A lot of people are bringing generators. There's medical stations, et cetera. They can't keep you from dying, but they can help you not die.
They can help you not die. And you've been going how long?
Next year will be my bar mitzvah. my 13th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you have different friends that come and go with you each year, and your theme is different, and the hats, of course. Do you sell these, or what? You're just saving them all?
No, these are just for
stuff that
me.
you make, and you
Sometimes
say,
I gift them.
yeah.
And I help people make them. I mean, obviously, I have tons of supplies and things, so we make some hats. And at our camp, our gift to the community is helping people make jewelry. So we have a lot of the leather pieces, and we have brands with the man. So you could come and get your own leather goods branded, or your belt or backpack, anything like that. But then also a leather piece that you can use with found jewelry that I bring, and charms and cording and everything. So people end up with these great tribal-looking necklaces, and they make them as gifts for people. And
so is gifting part of being at Burning Man? Is that
Gifting is- it's a
everybody? Are
gifting
you supposed to
economy.
give? Oh, so you're gifting instead of buying things. You're from people that you might need something of theirs. You do gift to get things, or
nope,
let's say
it's not barter.
Yeah, it's not
just gift.
It's
gift
just
with
gift.
no expectation.
Oh, wow. I like
Right.
that. I like that. That's
Right.
great.
But the gift doesn't have to be a tangible thing. If we go and we are all excited about having people make jewelry, and then nobody comes to make jewelry, that's no fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people your gift can be just participating. Participation is one of the principles. And so saying yes and giving of yourself, and accepting graciously the gifts that are given to you, that's as much part of the gifting economy, because it can't just be one way.
Yeah.
That's no
Right.
fun.
Right.
So that's a cool part of it. You don't have to bring tchotchkes with you, or candy, or,
Yeah.
little things. If you choose to spend some time crafting something, like I made some of these cups with the butterfly on it, because this year the theme was metamorphosis. So I'd been finding good cups for Burning Man, and I just modified them a little bit with the butterfly sticker to make them relevant for this year.
Very
and I
cool.
gave out a bunch of those. So.
And the cuffs?
Oh, these are my new thing
Yeah,
this year.
you
So
just-
I felt like I had kind of explored all the hat stuff, and so I wanted to make
Look at
cuffs.
these.
So I've been buying doilies,
Yeah.
and then I put little chains on them to keep them from turning over, and then I had like several different styles. So these were my fancy ones for, going out at
See
night.
if we can. And you
And
don't
these
really
were-
go. There's different events at Burning Man that are going on throughout the day.
24/7.
So there are, and there's a lot of art. Obviously, the art
300 to 400
installations.
pieces.
300 to 400
Huge out on the
pieces.
playa and in center camp.
Look at
And
these.
I mean,
Huh.
I think every person's a piece of art, really, because people are so creatively dressed, and their bikes are decorated really amazingly, and the camps, are creatively named and things. And so
What would you say to people that have never been to Burning Man? They think about going. They're not really sure. They might get a little nervous because it can sound overwhelming with that many people there. How would they start? What would you say to them to do their first time to get them going? Let's say we want to go next year, and none of us in this room has been to Burning Man,
Well,
but
I
we
mean, there's
decide we're
plenty
going
of
to put a
people that
camp
just
together.
go alone. I mean, there is open camping, so you don't have to be placed. You can just go in open camping. My daughter and I went together one year with no camp. We rented a van. We took a tent. We had a pop-up for some shade. We tied it to the van to keep it from blowing away. We had a separate little tent for food to kind of keep it out of the dust and not to crowd us in the tent. And we were great for the week.
And the Burning Man itself, that is an event. You actually,
That's like
are they
New
actually
Year's
burn?
Eve, 4th of July, everything rolled in together. So
Is that on the last night, or they do
next
it
to the last night.
next to the last night?
Yeah.
Everyone gathers around.
Yeah, there's a huge circle, a burn perimeter.
Yeah.
And then people are sitting, and then outside of that are, the 300 or 400 art cars that are licensed to come out at night, because not all of them are. They have to be lit a certain amount and things like that. There are some rules before you can get licensed from the Department of Mutant Vehicles.
Oh.
It's a real thing.
Okay.
There's
Mutant
bureaucracy there,
vehicles.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
So all of those are in a huge circle as well. And so that night, it starts with fire dancers around the man, and then, fireworks, and the man's arms go up, and then at some point there's like this fireball, and then it just, the burn starts, and the crowd cheers as each part of the man comes down.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the next night is a lot different because it's very solemn, because there's also been a temple open all week, and people have left shrines and mementos of people or pets that have passed, or maybe you and I are related. We've had this gnarly argument, and I want to just leave all that negative energy. I might write about it, and, when the temple burns, I feel like there's some release or something. So it's a whole range of emotions when you walk in there, and that's a very solemn, quiet, cathartic burn for a lot of people. And that wasn't there always. That began when somebody created a tribute to a friend that had passed, and other people kind of added to it. And then the organizers of Burning Man said, hey, this looks like this fills a need that people have. Obviously totally non-denominational, anything like that, but really, beautiful design every year, and very moving to go inside, even if you're not participating by leaving something, just reading it and maybe comforting people that are there. There's people that their gift is just playing quiet music there.
Such an adventure. And with us, folks, is Lea Goodsell, and she has her 13th year at Burning Man, which is an event out in the Black Rock Desert. Takes you about how long to get?
We usually drive all the way to Reno and overnight, and then go in next morning. Yeah.
Okay, and this is open to the public?
Sure. If you can buy a ticket, you can come.
How much is the ticket?
About $420, and then Nevada decided that they wanted to put a live entertainment tax on it, even though Burning Man itself does not provide any live entertainment. The people that come do it, but us and Electric Daisy Carnival, I think they saw as a way to make some more money. So that generally kicks it up to about $500. So it's not inexpensive, but for a whole week, at a comparable event, if you compare it to, doesn't really compare to music festivals, but if you had to compare it to something, it's a reasonable price for.
And how soon can they buy tickets?
They'll go on sale again in the spring, I think, but before you do that, you have to go on the Burning Man website under profiles and create a burner profile.
Okay.
And so that's the first step. If you were interested in going, create a burner profile, subscribe to the newsletter. It's called Jackrabbit Speaks, and that will get you kind of starting to tune in to some of the vernacular, like moop is matter out of place.
Oh.
Moop bags, things you carry around with you to put moop in. The playa, just some of the terminology that's just grown up around the event.
And do you, going 13 years, do they have an invite list for those that have already been there before? Do you get invited first to buy tickets, or is it just everybody kind of
placed camps that are in good standing, so we won't know until later after they do all the cleanup if our camp got a green as far as the moop score. Although we mooped very well when we left. We raked and picked up all the little pieces and everything. So assuming we're in good standing, we will be part of the direct ticket sales the following year as kind of a reward. Thank you, assuming we're returning as a camp. And so that's how that works. And then the general sale ticket sale opens, and then there's one more OMG or oh my God sale, at the very end. And then there's also a secure ticket exchange program. So if I buy a ticket and then I find out I can't go, I can return it, and somebody else gets invited to buy it, in the order to which they sign up for that. So those dates are all in the newsletter and everything.
Sounds tremendous. Sounds very exciting. One of these days, like I say, I'm gonna get to do this. I lived through Lea on this one. Yes, Lea Goodsell here. Where do you have? Okay, Burning Man's passed. You've done a few little trips. Let's see. I think you were in Egypt last time we talked. Came back from Egypt. I think it was Egypt.
Where's India?
India. There it goes.
Yeah, Egypt before that.
Egypt before. What's your next adventure?
I think Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. My daughter and I were just together, and I think I might go there Thanksgiving because the prices are so reasonable, and then go see her right after Christmas.
All right.
She'll be with the in-laws at Christmas.
And you usually come with a good travel tip. If it's some airline site or something, do you have any tip for us?
Well, I just signed up for a Facebook page, actually, a Facebook group, Women Solo Travelers.
Oh, okay.
And so there's a lot of great hints in there, places people have been, things that they found, good, bad, whatever. So I'm looking forward to getting into that and learning from other women that travel solo, because my trip Thanksgiving might be by myself for the first time overseas.
Oh, so someone's going to be knocking at your door that's going to want to go. But yeah, it is. And that's one of the most popular segments of travel now is solo travel. Yeah. There are so many people are tired of waiting for someone to go with and trying to arrange it with someone else.
And
they want to see something else.
And the younger ones, they have no problem taking off. I think we're more hesitant, but we shouldn't be.
We shouldn't be, right.
So
I agree.
I'm gonna get out there and be brave.
Good for you. I've been traveling solo with the show for years when I do all the live, or we're doing all the live radio remotes, and I never thought anything of it, but people would go, doesn't someone go with you? And I thought, well,
people are nervous about going to eat alone or going to the movie by themselves.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I found everywhere I've gone, and you, the same thing. First of all, we get what we give. We give people,
Sure.
yeah, we're nice. People are nice to us. And and if you want to talk to people, there are always plenty
And
of
they
people
want to
to
be
talk
helpful,
to. Yeah,
especially
they do.
people that live there. They're proud that you came.
Yes.
They're excited. Yes.
So it's travel solo is okay. Don't feel bad about doing
Be
it.
smart.
And
just
if
like you would in any big city.
exactly, yeah. Think like my dad said, always be aware. Police officer, he said, just be aware of who's around you, your surroundings. Don't be looking at this all the time.
That's good.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Immediacy.
Yeah, and look people right in the eye, because it really does make a difference. If someone that has a little bit of bad thoughts, and you look them right in the eye, they think, maybe I don't want to mess with that person,
Well, if you
because
walk
they know what's
purposely,
going
too.
on. Right. They just go on to someone who's a little bit more complacent. Well, Lee, thanks so much for joining us. I love all the things here.
No, my
Can't
pleasure.
wait to, so now that we can show photos and whatnot while we're doing this is a whole new experience for us here, for me here. I'm excited about it. This show will live on now for a really long time.
I love it.
And your outfit, the whole thing, you really...
If people want to know more
yeah.
about me and Burning Man, I think you can Google my name, Lea Goodsell,
Yep.
and Desert Sun, and I have a storyteller episode that's
Oh,
still
do
on
you?
there about Burning Man.
Oh, good.
And so
Okay.
kind of even more personal
You were
effects
gonna
that
write
Burning Man had on me. And I am working on a book, yes.
I was going to say, I remember you had talked about, that's probably a lot to tackle. That's
lot.
one of those, where do you start? It's almost, you have to go back
I'm
to the
starting with
beginning
the
of
10 principles, so
Yeah, there you go.
that part's done
10
for
principles.
me.
All right, folks. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here with Traveling with Francoise. Thank you so much for joining us today on the first hour and this hour as well. Remember, this show will be on the website. It will run on Facebook. It'll be all over the place for quite a long time. So until next week, which I don't even know what's happening next week on the show, something will be happening. You have a great one. Remember, go to that website, travelingwithfrancoise.com, for all the information about the television show, the contest page, everything you need to know, the nonprofit as well. And wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, until
You're
next
a whole
time.
multimedia company.
Yeah, just like you, Lee. Just like you. Okay, everyone, like I said, see you next time. And remember, it's never too late to get a life. Bye.